So this first matchup here, we have the Vampire Counts versus Norsca. Vampire Counts are led by myself, and Norsca is being led by Huron Papa of Turin. Alright, so for the builds here, we have a Mortis engine being led by Heinrich Kemmler on the Vampire Counts. We have a couple of units of Crypt Horrors. We have a couple of units of Graveguard with the Stearnsman. Kind of a row of zombies here. Some Blood Knights and a couple Direwolves, along with a pair of Banshees and a Vargwolf. See how well that deals with things. Now on the Norsca side, we have Throg with a Firecaster and a Fimir Balefiend, and a Skinwolf Werekin with a War Mammoth War Shrine. We've got the Mist Stalkers, and I have a good elite infantry pick here against the Vampire Counts. We've got the Icehorn Marauders, and we have the Brutes of the Hound RORs. We have a bit of an elite unit here, kind of a smaller unit scale on both sides here. We also got a couple javelins, and then just kind of some marauders with some spears on the side. It's kind of a nice, decent, we got a good anti-large group here, and with against Heinrich here, you're not really gonna have to worry too much about a powerful lord such as a Blood Dragon or any of the von Karsteins. So we'll get this show on the road here. As the armies approach one another, we've got the cavalry of the Vampire Counts coming up on the left side here, kind of looking to get around, kind of shut down any of the javelins, or kind of get some rear charges in, because the Norsca here doesn't really have anything in terms of mobility, so they should have free reign to kind of pick and choose their engagements. We kind of got the Werekin coming out here, a little sticking its nose out a little bit. Kind of see how plan is for that. It looks like he's coming back into his lines. Vampire Counts cavalry is getting a little closer to that side flank. Looks like both armies are squared off. Kind of a little stare down contest, and it looks like we've got the War Shrine Throg, some javelins, and the Werekin kind of pushing up against the cavalry unit here. Now, it doesn't look like the Counts are going to want to take that engagement. Especially with that Mammoth and Throg there, they'll be doing a good number on the Blood Knights and the Doggos they're supporting. But it looks like the Counts are approaching the front line of Norsca. It looks like that Norsca's pulled back their heavy infantry, and the Counts are kind of still proceeding to circle around a bit. Looks like the Werekin, though, he's getting out there. I'm not really sure if that was just kind of a misclick or what the plan was there. Fireball coming in on the Banshee. See, and it does miss, but it does land into the Graveyard, but it doesn't look like it does any damage. Maybe takes out a model, probably took maybe one or two models and a few zombies there, but the front lines have engaged. They got the javelins thrown into zombies. That's probably not such a good pick there. The other javelins are doing a little bit of damage on the Direwolves, but the other unit is now engaging them. It looks like got some spears. The War Mammoth and Frog both come in. I don't know if they're probably overcommitting to that. I don't know. And it looks like we got a Burning Head coming down. Oh, that's going to be a nice juicy target there. Try to pull away. But yeah, Graveguard, Crypt Horrors, they both took some considerable damage there. But it does look like we got the Mortis Engine and Vargolf both engaged in the front lines with the Marauder Champions, actually. Pretty going a little bit more on the elite side, but looks like the Fimir Balefiend's probably not where he wants to be in that engagement here. And it looks like the Blood Knights have kind of gotten a little surround off on the War Mammoth, but they are taking considerable damage as they're going to need to pull out of there, especially before those spears get in there to pin them in. But they took quite a bit of damage. The War Shrine Mammoth did not. Kind of got these dogs here. Just kind of looks like, oh, they're nope. Looks like they might be forgotten there a little bit as the spears kind of engage, and now the dogs are going to pull off. But it does look like one of the units of javelins has routed, and the front line is definitely not going as well for the Norsca here, as the Vargolf here is trying to peel off the Throg and the Warmongers to trying to get down the Fimir Balefiend here, who is already very low on health. But I don't know if Oh, and Krell has also been something to be doing some very good anti-large damage to that War Mammoth. In this case, War Mammoth probably just going to want to peel away and wait for Krell to dissipate. Looks like the dogs are engaged in both of the javelins, kind of keeping them close, but it looks like we got that right flank, but the Icehorn Marauders are now routed, and it looks like they're going to be gone for good. They are not much have a health there. And the Mortis Engine now is trying to whittle down this last little pocket in the left. Looks like one of the Banshees is getting a little danger low here. But Krell is still going. He's still whacking away. See, oh, and there's some good damage there on the Fever Balefiend. That Fever Balefiend is almost done. And losing your caster this early is going to be critical, especially against the vampire counts. Looks like one of the javelins is now shattered. Probably going to be seeing those dogs coming back to the main engagement. Looks like that Banshee is, that Balefiend is down to critical low, and he's running, and he's gone. So that is the end of the magic for Norsca here. Though it does look like the Vargulf is taking some serious pounding by Throg. He is just getting baseball batted all the way across the map here. I don't know why Throg wouldn't want to push that engagement there. Getting that Vargulf out of the picture is probably going to be a good idea there. It looks like, is that Krell still in there? He's still doing fairly well. Let's see. How is... he's taking damage. He should be at the end of his summons there. We got Heinrich Kevlar still cackling around, circling the pocket of Norscan troops. Brutes the Hound, a couple units of spears, but that Mortis Engine is still at full health, and it is still doing a considerable amount of work right now. It's already sitting at 54 kills. Looks like that Vargulf is trying to goon out that Werekin, get that last kind of presence off the battlefield, and it looks like Krell is down for the count. Though it looks like he did some pretty good damage on the War Shrine, as well as taking out that Firecaster. Cryptors and Throg are kind of duking it up. That Throg's going to give them the business there, but these Sternsmen are going to be able to bog that down, so Throg is probably going to want to try and regroup here with his War Shrine. And it looks like we've got the dogs here chasing off some rounding units. We've got just a couple of units of the Miststalkers left, but they have done some, I guess not as good, only 55 kills. They kind of expected a little bit more, but looks like the War Shrine here is trying to save that Werekin. It's got a nice surround off from the zombies, and that Vargulf being out, and down goes the Vargulf as he gets punted from that charge of the War Shrine. We got looks like Throg is very isolated in this case. It looks like the counts are all trying to just goon him out, keep him separated from that War Shrine and Werekin. And it looks like, yeah, the vampire counts are well ahead in this balance of power. I don't think that Norsca has any way back in this one. Looks like they're trying to salvage any last bit as the Werekin and War Shrine comes charging back in, getting that AoE leadership buff back. But with that Mortis Engine and all the units here, I don't think that they have the tools to do enough damage with what's left. And it looks like the Javs have finally been routed too, and the dogs will be coming back here. That Werekin trying to chase down Kemmler here, but even if he catches him, I don't think that's going to make any difference at this point. I'm guessing all the Winds of Magic has probably been used up. Maybe he has one more healer summons, but at this point, neither of those are going to be needed. So a little bit of a slash in the back there by the Werekin, but I think this is going to be all she wrote for Norsca here. We've got a couple spears and Marauders here trying to come back, but again, too little too late. Yep, and that is all she wrote indeed. Another great game by Huron, where that Mortis Engine doing 105 kills there. Really proving its work, especially against some more of the higher cost. You got multiple RORs here. It's like even the RORs didn't do essentially anything there. And like even these kills by the Marauder champions are pretty much just zombies or zombie summons there. So that is all she wrote here. It was another great game by Huron. Been playing a few matches against him. Fantastic opponent.